Okay, that should be better. Right, lots of... sorry about that. Let's have a look. So, I just need a moment. We had a couple of... Thank you. We had a couple of technical issues there for a moment. So the good news is that Twitch made me an affiliate last week, but the bad news was that it logged me out of all my streaming software. So all I want to do is I want to get... Oh no. Yeah, so I just need a couple of minutes to get sorted out. In the meantime, I'm going to show you these. These are the dice that I'm going to be giving away on the stream. These beauties. So anybody that's here following and has put a comment in the chat is already in. Yeah, so the only other issue I've got now, which is not a big problem, I can sort it out in momentarily, is for some reason it's not showing my this lovely new bit of software called Notion. I'm sure some of you have seen it before. I was watching Sly Flourish, who some of you might know as the Lazy DM. I don't actually know what his real name is. Anyway, I was watching his stream, and he does a lot of prep on Twitch, and he uses this software called Notion. So I'm going to just fire it up. I've created a kind of like a wiki online where we can see the world that we've created, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to see if we can get this working now. Hopefully it should only take a moment. Let's have a look what we've got. See what we can do here. If not, we will go back to pen and paper. Or the other thing I could do is I could load it up online. Let me try load it online, because it does work online as well. Let's have a look. And yeah, and so if this is your first time joining us, what we do on this is we create a world. We've only had one session so far, but we did get quite a lot done. We created a town called Lichton. We gave it quite a lot of lore. There's a couple of bits that I want to finish off on that today, and we're also going to be taking a look at a nearby forest called the Greyglades, which again was completely... all this stuff is contributed by people in the chat, which is absolutely amazing. So let's have a look and see if we can get this going. Yeah, for some reason it stopped showing my... let's have a look. Bird's eye desktop. There we go. Let's try again. Just going to take a look and see if we can get it going. Yeah, it's misbehaving. So I'm gonna put it on again. Let me just get rid of it. It should only take me a second. Hello there. We are just having one or two little technical issues, but that's no problem. I'm just gonna have a little sip of my tea. That might help. But yeah, if you're in the stream tonight and you make a comment, which lots of you have already done, you were in with a chance to win some beautiful sharp edge dice. They've got little like yellow flowers in them. Right, I'm going to try and put something in here. See if we can get it to work. Okay, so just give me a moment while I fix all this up nicely. I think we're good there. Just take me a minute to get it in place. I did have all this set up, but the last moment the software's decided to go wrong for me, but that's fine. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Probably enough, make it a little bit smaller. There you go, you can see behind the curtain now. So let's have a look where that one is at the top. Let's move it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, that will probably do for now. All right, so you can see, I just moved that one up a wee bit. So you can see, so what I'm using here is some software called Notion. You can grab it at notion.so, but the amazing thing about this software as well is it's kind of like Evernote. So it's new to me, but a great tool probably for GMs. I could definitely recommend it if you prefer digital over analog. I'm going to give it a go. I've had a little play with it over the last couple of days, and it feels good. It does. I can create a wiki style entries with it, and also you can see there if you go to qrcode.de/not of this earth, you should be able to see the actual page that it produces, and I think it, as I save things, it does update. So yeah, so you can see here I've already started mapping out some of the things we did last week. We got locations, bestiary, pantheon, because we did work on some gods. So I'll run through those with you to just get you caught up on where we were with our world building. Then we'll actually get started with our world building. I'm just going to check that the chat is still up at the top as well, because we want to be able to see what people are saying. I don't know why that's vanished. Right, okay, so here we go. Let's get back to this. So starting off with locations, you can see that I've mapped out in locations. We have got the Grey Glades, which we're going to be working on today. The Grey Glades came from, I think the idea came from, we have a petrified forest nearby, because this area is, this village in the mountains is being plagued by, it's been plagued throughout its history by lightning storms, which unbeknownst to the villagers are the product of magic from a lich. So if we go into the Grey Glades, sorry, not the Grey Glades, if we go into Lichton, which was the first town we created, you can now see that we have quite a lot of stuff in there. So let me just make this look a bit bigger for you. Oops. And you can actually see what's going on in here. There we go. So yeah, so Lichton is a remote mountain village. It was founded as a small settlement by the Orc hero. So the first thing that we need to do as a group is we never created a name for our Orc hero last week, or at least I don't think we did, because I checked through my notes. I know we created a god. We created the name of a bartender, obviously one of the most important things. And we created the name of a lich. So if anybody wants to throw any ideas for names in the chat, I'd be happy to bring them on board. Gurgarun, okay. I quite like that name. So Crowlath. That's quite a good name. Yes, sorry, a name for the, no, we've got a name for the lich. The lich is called Colborn. We need a name for the Orc hero. This is just to finish off the lore of this village. So we've got Gurgarun, Crowlath. I quite like those two. They're quite good. I don't know why we've lost our chat box. Ah, there we go. I think we've got it back again. Excellent. Okay, I've got the chat box back as well. So I think we're all back to where we should be now. Rolsoff. So we've got Gurgarun, Crowlath, and Rolsoff. That's interesting. Okay, so Jerson. I like the, and just to clarify, this is an orc that we're naming now. So if we can get a name for an orc, Dawnhunger's a good name. So we'll probably go with, I like Dawnhunger. That's a good name. Gunamore, Dawnhunger, Gurgarun, Crowlath. I think I'll stay away from Crowlath, because the only reason, I love that name, but the only reason is that our lich's name also starts with a K. So I don't want to confuse things in this place. So yeah, we want good, hard, sort of guttural names, I think. Gurgarun, Gunamore. I'm not sure about the alliteration on the G's. Shinemore, let's have a look. Okay, let's have Gurgurun shine more. Let's try that. Okay, so we can fill our we can fill this bit in. So, and apologies for the all the red highlights, because I still haven't figured out how to add things to spelling in this software. Add things to the spell check. So we're going to have to live with that. A metal statue. Gurgurun stands at the centre of the village with her sword pointing to the sky. This statue also serves as a lightning mask that protects. No, right click doesn't help, because I've tried right click and all we get is disable spell check, which is a little bit annoying. So I will try and figure out how to fix that. Anyway, thank you for subscribing, Boston Tea Gaming. So Lichton, yes, is a remote mountain village. So let's just briefly run through this, because I think this gives us everything we worked on last week, and then we're going to move on to the Grey Glades. So Lichton is a remote mountain village. It was first founded as a small settlement by the orc hero Gurgurun Shinemore, which you have just given me. After they banished the Lich from the area, so that's lore we came up with last week. The current population is 100% orc, many of whom are descendants of Gurgurun. A metal statue commemorating Gurgurun stands at the centre of the village with her sword pointing to the sky. This statue also serves the purpose of a lightning mask that protects the villagers from the frequent lightning strikes. So we did make up quite a lot of lore, and we made a lot of this lore just based around the fact that we started off with a tavern. The first thing we did was create a tavern called the Loud Cloud. The history: a cavern in the side of the mountain close to where Lichton now stands was home to a lich named Colborn. After driving Colborn out of the area, we can fill this name in. Gurgurun, yeah. Set up camp to guard the region, fearing the Lich would return. And please forgive any grammar and spelling, etc. You can actually add comments on the web version of this if you spot anything, or if there's any comments you've got. In time, his descendants formed a small settlement which grew into a mountainside village. Unbeknownst to the villagers, to this day, out of spite, Colborn torments the region with magical lightning strikes for his own amusement. So I think the lore I sort of brought into this, based on all your comments, was that the Lich isn't really that interested anymore in this place. The Lich has moved on, but for hundreds and hundreds of years, for centuries, the Lich has been tormenting this area with storms, which forms a big part of the identity of this village. The economy of this place, it's mostly self-sufficient. It trades in grey stone quarried from the local mountain, as well as farming giant. Now, here's a name I created off stream: Kaleidosnails. So if you were here last week, you would know that these big sort of giant probably rat-sized snails have kind of mother of pearl style shells. So their shells kind of change colour in the light. So so Kaleidosnails do have their own entry as well. That is a link. So if you do go onto the online version of this, which I will post somewhere shortly as well in the chat, you'll be able to see that. I try and bring a lot of this lore in other places into this village as well. So the orcs of Lichton are hospitable but do not suffer fools. They worship the goddess. Okay, so we did actually let's have a look at the pantheon. Usuri. So let's go back to that's Usuri was the name we gave the goddess. That's the goddess of storms and strength, which kind of made sense for the area, and have built a temple in honor to her honor in the center of the village. Some of the orcs in the village who have been hit by lightning and survived bear ornate tree patterns on their skin, which is something we got from real. I think somebody put in the chat it was Lichtenberg figures, which is where the name of the town comes from as well. So those are kind of figures, strange like tree shaped figures. They are called. And we call them Thunderhead tattoos. Again, something from the chat, an amazing name that came from the chat. All right. So, notable locations. The Loud Cloud is a tavern on the west side of the village. It is well known for its crunchy stew, which is largely composed of unwashed, locally grown vegetables and kaleidosnail meat with shell that are coated with fine rock dust from the nearby quarry. The owner of the tavern is a female orc named Bo Gale, which was another suggestion from last week, which I found very, very cool. Like most of the buildings in Lichton, the tavern is made from grey stone that is scarred by decades of lightning strikes. Tipples of note in here, so drinks of note include a liquor named Roaring Whirlwind and Screamos tea. Crunchy stew was amazing. I'd also love to thank Pastor173, who is in our Discord channel as well, who provided the Loud and Clouds artwork here for the signage. If you do want to send anything, you can send it to hello@criticalkit. You can post it on Instagram, Twitter, just tag us, and we will ask your permission first, but we will include it on the official wiki for the town. This is a world building exercise. It's always going to be Creative Commons. It's always going to be there for everybody to use and do as they will with. Okay, the quarry. To the east of the village is the main source of income for the locals. The greystone that is farmed, I'll explain why we called it farmed in a moment, but the greystone that is farmed from the mountains is used in the more opulent towns and cities for the constructions of mansions and governmental buildings. However, the orcs of Lichton are at the mercy of the lightning, which occasionally strikes the mountain and sends huge boulders tumbling down into the quarry. So these orcs don't actually have the means or the machinery to quarry. What they do is they wait until the weather collapses a piece of the mountain into the quarry, and then they will work it. So they are technically farmers. They call themselves stone farmers because they are at the mercy of the weather, which I thought was a lovely little idea that came from what we were working on last week. The Temple of Yusri, goddess of strength and storms, is situated in the very centre of the town, close to the statue of we have a name now. I'm going to have to take me a minute to get this name committed to memory. Gurgurun. So he's untouched by the lightning. This small pitched roof building is built from local stone, rendered with quarry dust and snail slime plaster, which is then embedded with collider snail shells. As such, is the most colourful building in the whole village, and the keystone of the arch entrance is a boulder that has a deep notch from a lightning strike known as the Cloven Rock. So that's what we did last week. That was amazing. I was absolutely... I'll say it again, I don't prepare for these streams because I believe that if I prepared, I would come with my own preconceptions, my own ideas. I filled in a couple of gaps as I wrote this out, like the name for Collider Snails. But other than that, I really, really want everybody to get involved. So as well, please, if you know anyone that might be interested in this, any GMs or any people that are interested in world building, please share it with them, get them in here. Like I said before, we are giving away... I'm going to keep showing one of these if you can see them. I'm giving away these beautiful sharp edge dice with... They have... I don't know if you can see them. They've got like flowers in them. This 6 is probably the best. The D6 is probably the best one to go. They've got beautiful flowers inside them. And I will be giving these away at the end of the stream to someone who has followed us and commented in the chat. So yeah, please tell anybody you can. Okay, so... we were going to work on the Grey Glades. So we decided last week that the Grey Glades were a forest that were, because of the lightning strikes, they were petrified. So we're going to work on that. We also came up with a name for a giant tree called Brockfort. Thank you, Boston Tea Gaming. That would be amazing. Just if we can get as many people working on this as possible. You know, it's... The whole idea behind this stream is, yes, of course it benefits me because it gets exposure for my work, but I also want, I want to help people get inspired and to show them that you can just really create a world from nothing. We did also have a discussion about whether we work from outside in or inside out. Mainly on this stream, we are working inside out because we are starting locally, but that's not to say that we're not jumping right out sometimes, because obviously, like I said last week, this world isn't built in a vacuum. This village isn't built in a vacuum, so we have to start, when we need things to make sense, we have to start dragging them in from outside. So we've already moved all the way from, I think last week we flipped from crunchy stew, the ingredients of crunchy stew, and then pulled right back out to creating a god. So that's how much we jump about when we're world building. So we're going to work on the Grey Glades, which is a petrified forest, which is nearby, and I suppose it's a mountainside forest. That kind of makes sense. And the reason it's petrified is because of, well, the constant lightning strikes around here. You'll also notice that I've put at the bottom potential. Oh, I feel like I need to create a bit of a scratch pad here, because God Stew is, I mean, just let me grab a piece of paper. I need to grab a piece of paper. That has to be written down. Challenge accepted. God Stew. Okay. Some point in the next however many weeks we do this for, or years, I imagine, God Stew will become a thing. I play the long game. We will come back to that. You'll see that I've also put on these pages as well, whenever I do a location, I'm going to start putting potential adventures. Hey, Chav186, I do know who you are. Thank you very much. You're a very good customer of ours. So thank you for jumping in. So, yeah, I'm going to put, if we ever think of potential adventures in these areas, just feel free to shout them out. Even if they come at a time when we're not even in this place, or you think of them off stream and you come back to the stream another week, please just, let me know. I do watch them back. I do try and get all of the chats. So yeah. Here's a thought. The petrified forest, was it the place where the lich sucked the life from to become the abomination it became? It could be. It could be. Because I guess we don't also really know. There's no exact law, is there, on how liches are created? I mean, I know they have to ultimately die. They have to... The end game of the ritual, or the end point of the ritual, is them actually killing themselves. But I think that kind of law is pretty open. It's open to interpretation. I mean, I suppose they've got to drink something. False hydras are fun, yes, indeed. So yeah, let's look a bit at the Grey Glade. I think what I'd like to look at when we look at the Grey Glades is if there's anything we need to, flesh out in this forest. And also I want to look at Brockfor. I want to know what... Right, okay, so the lich killed himself at that specific tree. Okay, that's interesting. So we could go with... So let's get to the Grey Glades. So what I've got about the Grey Glades at the moment is they are close to Lichton. The Grey Glades are a petrified forest in the foothills to the south of the mountain village of Lichton. They were once a sprawling forest, but centuries of unrelenting lightning strikes have rendered them petrified. At the centre of the forest stands a huge oak that has the appearance of being carved out of stone, and is given the name Brockfor by the orcs of the nearby village of Lichton. Broader question, are there spirits running around the world? You tell me. That's the easy answer to that one. This is an interactive world building stream, so if you can give me a good reason why spirits would be running around this world, let's have some spirits. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Okay. Oh, dryad spirits. Okay, I shall make. So I'm going to keep a little scratch pad because I don't want to miss some of these, and in case, as last week, the mind starts churning away, and some of these things, we get what Neil Gaiman calls the confluence of ideas, which is all important in storytelling, where we get two things that might seemingly be unrelated but fit together. Lightning spirits, lightning sprites, yeah, I like that. Yeah, lightning sprites. Okay, I'm gonna make it so we'll throw all these in the pot. The other thing what I would say as well is I do keep a scratch pad of all these ideas, even names and things, so even if they don't get used now, there will be things that I'll drag back in at some point, maybe for a bit of inspiration. I like lightning spirits. So let's talk about let's make the Grey Glades haunted then, yeah? Should we make them haunted? Is everybody okay with that? And then we could talk about the lightning spirits. Right. Okay, so why don't we? Because we had an idea of dryad spirits, so why don't we make the lightning spirits something, a combination of the dark magic that this lich is using to torment this town. It's because it's magical lightning. When it's struck these dryads and killed them, they could have become lightning spirits. So let's. Are we all right with that? Do we think we should have like lightning spirits that are in essence formerly dryads? Would that work, or do we need to just make them purely lightning? I feel like if we had dryads in this area, it would make sense. And also, they could be torn. Or the spirits of the trees. Yeah, that's why I was going with dryads, because I felt like if you went with dryads, you could you're halfway there then, aren't you, with the spirit of the trees? I like the fact they could work with the orcs. I like this. I want to create some conflict, and that conflict could be some kind of communication problem or a curse. Since the trees are petrified, tree rock spirit mixture. Alternate idea. Since the trees are petrified, tree rock spirit mixture. Yeah, we could have the rocks. I'm trying to think. Okay, so appease the spirits after someone took part of the Brockfire. Right, so let's okay, we've got a lot of ideas, so let's start bringing some of these together. So let's bring the ones together that we can, and then we can, this is a part of world building, so this is kind of, even though you're throwing the ideas in, you're also getting to see my process working as well. And I hope, even if you don't do things like me, I hope it shows you that there's not really a right way to do this. So let's get into here. So I want to, at the center of the forest, so I want to, Brock 4 is believed to be the tree at which the lich, the wizard performed their final, well, we've settled on him, so performed his final ritual before passing into lichdom. Is lichdom a word? Someone wants to confirm that for me. Hello, macaroni. I've just had macaroni for tea. Hello, macaroni unicorn. Fabulous name. Lichdom is good, thank you. So we know that the lich, this was the place where the lich, do you know something? What would be really interesting? What's probably, I think we should make this a bit of lore. This lich had only this wizard had only just become a lich when the bane of his existence. Let me just double check the name. Like I said, it will take me a while to get this name into my head. Apologies. Locations, Lichton. Gurgurun. Okay. Yes, brand new lich, but Gurgurun has been chasing this wizard for a long time, and literally this lich has been a lich for one day, and Gurgurun drives. Maybe almost just at the point when he has just converted into a lich. So here's something. Do we have some lore in our world where there's almost like, you know, when you get a newborn foal and a newborn foal struggles to stand, do we get a point when a lich has just converted and wakes up newly undead, where they have to acclimatize to the world, and maybe at this point they are weak? I'm feeling like I know brand new lich should be full of power, but I'm feeling like we should have this lich as being relatively weak, which is the reason this lich had to leave quickly when he knew Gurgurun had caught up. How does that sound for a bit of lore? Are we all happy with that? Colborne exists, Gurgurun. So you have chosen Death Colborne. I chose the opposite of Gurgurun. Too bad. Yeah. All right. Let's. Yeah, trees could contain. Okay, so we're going to come to the trees now. I like that. So I think what we do is we keep. Let's go back to the Grey Glades, which I should be able to get through to here. Brofor is before passing into Lichton. That's fine. So this forest, I like this. So the forest is currently occupied. Oh, let me make a spell. Well, I'm sorry about this. I will get there. By lightning spirits. I'm going to do something here, because then we don't forget this. So let's create... this is what I love about this now, this bit of software. A lightning spirits in... what's the sub-page? It's bestiary. And then we can eventually, we'll get around to making stats for these things. So in our bestiary now, we should have a lightning spirits page. We do. Okay, apologies for jumping around. Okay, the trees could contain some kind of lightning essence power within the petrified wood crystal result from petrification. I want... So here's a thing. Let's say that the dryads have been forced out. Let's say that this lightning, because it's magical lightning, whenever it strikes the forest, it creates a lightning spirit. We can work out the details of lightning spirits later, but let's say that it creates a lightning spirit, and over time these lightning spirits have driven out the dryads that live here. But why? Let's think about... That's good, because we've got some conflict there, because we've now got the dryads may want to come back to their home. So we've got a bit of conflict there, which is what we're going to need. And it also gives us an opportunity for a... Yeah, they're tied to the earth. Okay. So, yeah, they're stuck in limbo. These lightning spirits, I'm trying to bring them... I love the lightning spirits. I want to keep them. I guess I want to... I suppose at this moment we don't need to work on origins for lightning spirits. We can just say that they're there. Let's talk about them a little bit then, the lightning spirits. What's their appearance like? What are they? Are they malevolent? Are they good? I mean, they come from dark magic. So what do we think of the lightning? What do they look like? I mean, I guess... Can they only travel through the ground and through... So let's say if ever they need to... Let's talk from a combat sense. Do they need to actually always be touching something like... Can they travel through the air, the lightning spirits? Hey, Jim. So if... You can try and catch them on the chat, but we're basically thinking about lightning spirits who live in a petrified wood. So it's a petrified wood that's been created by magical lightning strikes, and now we're talking about lightning spirits. They can shimmer and dance, and maybe they have creepy faces. All right, okay, I like this. Indiana Jones, the first Indiana Jones movie, the end where the Nazis are all opening the ark and those beautiful angels come out. Why don't we have them as looking cute until you get close to them, and then they show their real faces? Why don't we have them? Yeah, so they're almost like the sort of the trope of the siren that brings the sailors, the ships towards the rocks. So they could, which is probably why this is why the orcs would avoid this place, right? No, they don't have to be humanoid. I'm thinking that they... No, I don't think they would be humanoid. No, I don't think they are humanoid. I think someone mentioned that they were the spirits of the trees, and I would say that they are the spirits of the trees. I like that. Yeah, so they are kind of they're kind of a little bit of a play on Will-o'-the-Wisp as well. So that makes sense. So let's the forest is coming back. let's say, okay, let's say that in this world, let's create a real yin and yang world. Let's say that there is positive and negative energy, and let's say that what this magical lightning has done has taken the positive energy from these tree spirits. So these trees are generally good things. Obviously, trees, you know, they help the environment. They provide wood for the town. They do all kinds of things. Let's say that all the goodness has been taken from these trees, and the lightning sprites embody everything, the dark side to their light side. And so, you know, we could end up with a quest here to retrieve maybe the Lich keeps this stuff in his phylactery and uses it as a source of power. Maybe let's look at Stranger Things and Vecna. You know, let's look at what Vecna was doing there by drawing things out of people. You know, drawing the good out and using the good energy. So let's say it's kind of by residual dark energy from the spirits of the trees. I like that. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. They could be a conduit, so they could almost be kind of viral. They could almost anything that they touch, they start to drain the good side of it away. And look, what we could do with that is we could then, once we come to create stats for these in the future, we could consider that. Yeah, there's the Thunderhead tattoos. I do like the link to lightning now, so I feel like with the Grey Glades we've got Brock 4 feels good. That feels right. That's fine. Everything. Listen, someone touched upon this last week, that everything's pretty much been done before. We're just repackaging it in a different way, right? That's when we're world building. That's what we're doing. So, let's have a think. I like the Thunderhead tattoos. You can generate good spirits, but here's what I'm thinking: that our Lich is keeping all the good spirits trapped, and that's how So the spirits of these trees are not necessarily bad, but what the Lich has done, he has taken the good. He's holding it. He's imprisoning the good. So now all we've got is a very two-dimensional, maligned creature. So I think so. Let's put a possible quest, and then what I will do is put I'm going to create a to-do section, because we can always come back to these. Oops. So we can elaborate on how the lightning spirits were created by Colborne's dark magic. The spirits of the trees. Maybe the lightning acts like a cage for the spirits of the trees, so it actually traps them. Whereas reflect the lightning away. Yeah, that's good actually. We've actually so what we have discussed with the orcs as well is what they do have is at the center of their town they have a giant statue of their hero Gargarin, who she also acts as a lightning conductor because she has a giant metal sword that points to the sky, and it's at the side of the temple. So her main purpose is to protect. Her main purpose. Hey, Dirty20 Live, thank you for joining. I do know who you are. You always give us a shout out on your on your games on YouTube and on your stream. So thank you for that. So please feel free to post a link to your stream in the chat. Yes, they are. I'll leave Suzalin to explain that one to you, Jim 8. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to elaborate on the spirit. They are they are the dark. I'm going to put they are the negative energy for now. After Colborne has imprisoned the good energy. So we're kind of getting into an area that's similar to Tomb of Annihilation here, where we've got a Acererak who created. There were. Do I do spoilers? Yeah, Acererak did something similar to this, so we can sort of play on that a little bit. I don't want to spoil that one if anyone's playing Tomb of Annihilation. So so they are the negative energy. This Colborne imprisoned the good energy in his. Does he imprint? We are working on a petrified forest called the Grey Glades, which has that's the summary. Spirits and forests. We could get onto something else. Who knows? Because this is a very random world building exercise. Last in the first session we went from the ingredients of crunchy stew, and then within the same breath we moved up to creating the god of strength and storms. So right. So elaborate. So look, the Grey Glades. We have potential. We have a potential adventure here, right? I just want to make sure I'm doing this in a uniform way. Potential adventures. So let's come back to the Grey Glades and paste this in. So potential adventures. Help free the positive. I'm just going to put positive energy because we'll give it an actual name. We'll give it a name. Future of the trees spirits. So look, I guess what happened is the trees got damaged by lightning, effectively killed their spirits. We live in a world where there's lots of spirits. Everything has a spirit, but at the very point that they are killed, the lightning then takes the good out of their spirits, leaving only the negative energy. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to try and say you Calliope Vale. Tell me if that's right. That is a good question. Will restoring the tree spirits involve unpetrifying them? I don't know. Would it? Because I feel like the trees have already been killed by the lightning, but their spirits. The problem is it wasn't natural lightning. It's dark magic lightning. So he's almost using it like a straw to take. When the lightning hits, he's almost using it like a straw to take everything that's good out of the spirit. So yes, the lich energy. So let's just say that it's one way or another. The only way to free these tree spirits is probably destroy the lich. Or yes, but I think so. There's a potential adventure. Help free the positive energy of the tree spirits. So yeah, so we've got I'm gonna. So the title of that adventure will be free my little tree spirits. Okay, when we come to write that adventure. Okay, brilliant. So let's just quickly go back to locations, because anybody that's just joined us, I did want to just just go through this quickly, that we are creating a world as a joint effort. This isn't just me coming up with ideas for a world. This is everybody coming up, throwing ideas in the pot, and then I will try and wrestle them in. So I'm kind of acting a little bit like a GM to this world. You can actually go and look. There is a document online, qrco.de/not of this earth. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for the sub, Boston Tea Gaming. It was lovely to see you. This will be available on YouTube from tomorrow as well, so you can watch the whole stream again. Okay, and it will be on Twitch too for a week or so. So what you can do is you can actually go and see this document. I don't know how quickly it updates. But yeah, it's on qrco.de, not of this earth. And this document I'm creating here should update. Okay, so is there anybody, sorry, I missed some things there. They're probably involved, but replanting the trees might help them literally ground them. Let's talk a little bit about the relationship between the orcs of Lichton and the Grey Glades. What is their relationship? I mean, I suppose they come here occasionally and get wood because they need to get some wood for their. We did say that their doors and sort of anything that's made of wood is made from this very grey wood, which is one of the original ideas we had. What's the relationship between the orcs? The opal made by the lightning strikes. Well, these orcs are... So, let me go back to the culture of these orcs a bit. They live in a very... they're ancestors of an orc that formed a hero that formed a settlement up here. They live quite a hard life, although quite a cultured life. They live in houses. They've built a village. They quarry. They call themselves stone farmers because they actually they quarry stone that's already been falling off the side of the mountain due to lightning strikes. Yeah, and they use the stone, so the stone is part of their local economy. I can actually come back to the location that we created last week. So Lichton was where it all began. So it is up the side of a hill. I'm just wondering, I mean, I would say that this forest is about a mile maybe away from where they are. It's just more because this whole area is constantly being bombarded. Well, let's say several times a day it gets struck by some lightning, which is just magic. It's the Lich tormenting them because he knows that some of these people are the descendants of this hero that drove him out of this place. He just torments them. He's not bothered enough to... Or maybe he just wants to exact such a revenge that's long and slow, rather than just destroying. He could probably destroy the village, but he has more fun just watching them suffer. This is true. Well, what I'd say about the coming of age thing is that we do have the concept of thunder. We do have thunderhead tattoos, so they're like Lichtenberg figures that we get in real in our world. When someone gets struck by lightning, they get these real sort of tree-like patterns on the skin, very fine, intricate. So some of these orcs do have that when they have been struck. Tends to be orcs in the quarries, working in the quarries. So yeah, I guess. Or do the orcs avoid the forest? I guess that's my first question. Do they avoid it or do they go there? That would be my first question. Do they have their own? Oh. Hey. Right, so woods are where mark out the safe paths planners periodically. Yeah, okay, so they go through. I guess they've got to go and get wood as well occasionally because let's say that there's not a lot of... It's quite a sparse mountain that they're on. Yeah. Okay, so occasionally they may need to go get wood. I like this idea that Susie Ellen had about woods where their hero was buried because it would make sense that he would keep vigil at Brockfor. So there's a giant tree in the middle of this forest called Brockfor, and it makes absolute sense that he would. I mean, we're talking 1,000 years ago. Yeah, okay. So dares as well. So we could have. So let's create a little scratch pad on this one because we've got a few ideas, and then we can move on to something else. So we got to dos. As imprison the good energy in his. Let's say his. I don't know whether this is possible, but we can do what we want. It's our world. Let's write some notes and we'll come back. Children often come down here as a dare to see who will step furthest into the forest. Okay, I like that one. Yeah, they're probably aware of Brockfor, aren't they? So yeah, it sounds like a thing they avoid, but called an sacredity. Yes, they avoid. Yeah, they avoid Brockfor because maybe they believe. Man, why would they avoid Brockfor? You see, with the law we created last week is that a lot of these descendants don't actually know much about how the settlement was created, so they don't really know about the Lich. So they don't know the weather is magical. They just assume the weather is just is what it is. Yeah, we could have some. Yeah, we need some creepy plants. So we need some creepy plants. All right. So what I'm going to do is they avoid Brockfor. So they might go into the forest, but they avoid Brockfor because let's just they're not, you know, they're not unintelligent. Let's just put their sense of great evil resides there, which actually doesn't at the moment. I mean, nothing resides there at the moment. The evil is coming from a distance, and the evil is spreading itself all across this local area. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I don't know what's wrong here, but I'm sure something is wrong here. Creepy plants. All right, so here's something then. Before we move on from this particular section and we move on to something else, let's talk about creepy plants. Let's have some creepy plants that have, through the dark magic, have grown. We've got lightning spirits. Let's make a creepy plant. And I am very sorry if any of you are. It's almost your bedtime because it is going to get a bit spooky now. I don't know. Let's creepiness. Let's turn it to 11. I think. So. Right. Okay. So straight away, I'm going with creepy plants. So they have got fingers for stems, or yeah, fingers. They've got. Okay. Flowers that open up and the petals are fingers. All right. Sorry, anyone who's of a nervous disposition. So flowers that open up and the petals are fingers. So we got a flower that opens up. Yeah, carnivorous. So they would, yeah, not big enough probably. Carnivorous. They probably live off. They can give you. Let's just put a 2 HP bite. Okay. Nothing too bad, but generally they eat small rodents. Yeah, do they have a symbiotic relationship? That's a good point. Do they have a symbiotic relationship with the lightning spirits where they draw people in? I imagine they're not sentient like. well, the petals are fingers with long bark nails. Okay, so here's the idea. So I'm gonna take a bit of a cue from the seabed here. You know, you get plenty of sea creatures that just sort of hide just beneath the sand, and so these plants hide just under the surface and present as small twigs in a semicircle. When a creature stands within them, they emerge and drag it under the soil. All right, I think that might be creepy enough. I feel like they have twigs for nails, and they kind of, so you can just see a small circle of what looks like bits of twigs sticking up, and if anything that stands in the middle of it, they come up and just, they're literally like fingers and pull everything under, and that's it. You know, the rat is no more. So I think we'll do that. They can probably bite a toe off as well. I think we'll leave. Right. Let's give our creepy plants a name, and then we'll leave it. Forest is also, I mean, I know a really creepy name, Soil Fingers. But let's have some snapping fingers. Any more? We got snapping fingers. Copied. Snap ropes. Terror twigs. Old knuckle bones. I feel like as well. Grandma's thing. Oh, hang on a minute. Right. I'm going to call them Nanny Snap Rope's fingers. Everybody okay with Nanny Snap Rope's fingers? Let's throw everybody's suggestions in the pot there. Okay. Yeah, Nanny Snap Rope's fingers, because the reason they're called Nanny Snap Rope's fingers is because, and this is where we're really going to get deep into lore building at some point, there's going to be a nursery rhyme that the kids know about a Nanny Snap Rope's fingers. Okay, because I think we got, you know, I did say we were turning the creep up to 11, and nothing's creepier than nothing is creepier than a nursery rhyme. Right, I'm going to bring us back into something very, very nice in a moment. So I'm going to just create this. I'm going to create a page out of this. So we're going to link this. We're going to call these Nanny Snap Rope fingers. I'm going to call them, I'm going to singularize it, Nanny Snap Rope fingers, and it's going to go into the bestiary. Okay, so we got a new page in the bestiary which we can fill in. Also a nursery rhyme. Okay, potential adventures. Other potential adventures are okay. What I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to quickly jump back to in our locations. Let me just correct that. That's Brock 4. I'm going to quickly eject because we've got a potential adventure here. A potential adventure is to help weed the village due to an infestation of nanny snaprope fingers. Okay, so we've also got a free potential adventure out of that for Lichten. What could happen as per I think it was Plink's suggestion. As per Plink's suggestion was we could have maybe the children bring some of the spores back up with them or something. Or cool. So yeah, really happy so far with what we've got here. So I feel like we've got a bit of history for the Grey Glades. I feel like what I would like to do now is I would like to move down the mountain. If we could move down the mountain, and maybe I think the next thing I would like to do on this, because we've got a town, we've got a village that's quite a cool little. It's got a lot of lore around it. We've created a forest as well. We've created a quite a spooky area. I feel like I want to head down the mountain now to a city. So I'd like to look at a city, because I'd like to start now, because I think that a city would probably take us a city would take us at least what's left of this stream, and probably another stream in a bit maybe. So I think, yeah, I think we'll look at a city, because we've got some. Today we've created another creature for our bestiary. We've created 2 creatures actually. So we've now got Collider Snails, Lightning Spirit, and Nanny Snaprope Fingers. Oh yeah, which I'm very impressed with. Okay, so back to our setting again. Not of this earth, right? So let's add a new city. So I want this city to be. Let's make this city a poorer cousin to a bigger city that's somewhere else. So this is, I think that's a great place to start some conflict, is that we can have a city here that did want to be the big city, but historically it's never managed to get there. So let's have some names for a city, and then we'll see where we can go from there. I'll just wait till everybody stops talking about creepy plants before we do that. Or keep talking about creepy plants, that's fine. I want this city to be, so we're going to have two cities. We're going to have a city that is, because it's close to the mountains, it's going to get a lot of bad weather. And then we're going to have another city that is where all the good weather is. And they're rival cities. They're probably rivaling each other trade. We're probably going to have a river that goes all the way through one city and out into the next city. Little Chalkington. That sounds way too nice for the city I've got in mind. Vodreath is a good name. Vodreath's quite good. What about something near? Let's try and think as well, geographically. What would this city? I mean, it's probably going to have some of the buildings from the Greystone from the Orcs. What else could we say about this city? Vodreath, Dorsoon. Dorsoon's quite a nice name. Let me just have a quick look. I like Vodreath. Let's have a look and just make sure we're not stepping on any toes with that name, because that's a good name. No, we're not. That's a good name. Okay. I think I'm going to go with the first one that was thrown in, Vodreath. I like that. We're going to create a city called Vodreath. I do like that. So let's create a new entry here. So we're going to call it Vordreath, and maybe we can say what that means, in some other language. Or so let's create a page for that. Vordreath. So, and we're going to create that in locations. So locations. I don't know why it's giving me 2 there. That's fine. Just get rid of that. Okay. So Vordreath. Right. Okay. It's not a football town. What do we want? We want a castle maybe or something. There we go. All right. Vordreath. Okay. So let's go for it. Let's talk about Vordreath a little bit. So is it, I guess let's look at it from what kind of city is it? Is it the Vale of the Grey? Yeah, the Vale of the Grey. Is it a city that's is it aspiring to do good? Is it more like Baldur's Gate? Is it a hive, Mos Eisley? Is it a hive of scum and villainy? How do we feel about Vordreath as a city? Is it emerging? Is it a city of spies? A trade point? Yeah. Is it a corrupt city? Is it a corrupt city? Let's think about, I'll tell you what might give us a good indication of what kind of city it is. Let's think about its crest, which might seem a strange thing to be thinking about before we've even got a city, but I often find that if we get some ideas together, some high level ideas, sometimes we can get into the nitty gritty from those. So let's get some of these ideas down. So it could be a trade point. Let me just change the font on this. There we go. So it could be a trade point. A trade point. Right, okay. So it could be a trade point between... Let's just put this in for now. The west and the other side of the mountains. Because we can decide what's on the other side of the mountain range. Yeah. Well, let's have... Is it democratic? Do we think it's a democratic? And if we're talking about democracy, how far does its democracy go? Does everyone get the vote, or it's trying to so it's let's call it a new democracy. That's always exciting, right? A new democracy, because it's going to have teething pains. We'll just put that in, and then we can... So it's going to have teething pains. Newtown, yeah, Newtown not quite there yet. So it's being... Should we say it's sprawling and patchwork? But in the sense that it's still being built. There's still areas of it being built. So there are places in the centre that are established, but it's constantly, because there's more and more population coming into it, it's constantly growing, and it's growing. It's probably the fastest growing city on the continent. We don't even have a name for the continent yet, but we'll get there. A river runs through it. Name of a river. So the river comes down. The water comes down through the mountains. I'll tell you what we didn't do, actually. Can we just jump away from this a moment? halfway up Mount. Okay. River Bra here. I'll take that. That's good. What's the name of the mountain as well? So we've got the River Bra here. Could maybe... Yeah, we'll do the River Bra here. I like that. Mount Calthor. Yeah, I like that because it's got Thor in it. Thor. Okay, yeah, I like Calthor. I like Calthor because it's got Thor in it, which is a sort of a hat tip to the nature of the weather round there. So let's go with Mount Calthor. Calthor. Yeah, I like Calthor. Let's go with Calthor. I think that's a great name. So and Cal could be calcium, could be calor, like the Spanish for heat, but I mean that doesn't. Maybe it gets humid up there. I don't know. Let's go with Calthor though. I like that. So Mount Calthor. So Lichton is a remote village halfway up Calthor. Right, so we can jump back to Vordreath. So a river runs through it. And I will write all this up better. This is just for the benefit of getting on with the stream. Okay, so let's have a... What did we get there for the name of the... We got Bra here. Bra... So, is that... Bra here or Brower? Brower. That sounds like a very different thing. Is it Bra here? Let's call it Bra here. I was brought here by this river. A river runs through it called Bra here. It's going to have to be a broad river, right? Because it's a broad river runs through it called a broad rear originating somewhere from Mount Calthor runs through it. A broad river. Let's put the broad river. Oh, let's just put the river for now. The river. Bra here. So we're already linking places. This is cool. Lazy River. Yeah, okay. I like this. So, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to create Bra here as a location. Because I feel like this river's going to run. It's almost going to be like, you know, the canal system. It's going to be a very important river. All kinds of things. You know, there's going to be places where it narrows, which is good for, like, bandits in boats. And it's also there's going to be places where it's wider, where there's tiny little settlements on either side of the river, just even if they're just tents but it's going to be a river that it changes as you go down it. So Bra here, and that's a new page in locations. So I'm going to take this off. So the River Bra here runs through it. The River Bra here runs through it. And let's go do the page for Bra here. Don't we add an icon? We may as well just put a river icon in. I'll try and find some better. Oh no, I'm not using any of those. Okay. Let's just remove that. So Bra here. Bra here is a river that emerges from Mount Calthor in the east and travels west through many towns and cities, through several towns and cities out to the sea. Okay, so you see, we're starting to broaden the world a little bit now. So we're gonna broaden a little bit here and create a few things, but then we are gonna pull right back in again. Sorry, I missed some of the conversation there. So a bit of a lazy river. I like this. It's a lazy river making travel slow. Had dry docks for trade, slow down trade. Yeah, so I think... So we've got Bra here. So we've got some new places that we need to work on. So we've got Vordreath, we've got Bra here, which is really cool. So we've got that from... So just from creating Vordreath, we've now got a river that's going to link up a lot of the main places we work on over the next few weeks. And again, anybody that's watching, all this stuff is available online. You can just go to Q. In fact, I will post this in the chat. You can view this here. It will update. You can put comments on there. I will keep going in and trying to take a look at it and see. And anything I work on will go straight up there. Bra here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we've got this river. So let's go back. Let's start doing Vordreath. Let's take a look at this. So it's fastest growing city on the continent. What about what races do we have in Vordreath? I mean, okay, I'm going to suggest we have humans because humans are everywhere. They're not necessarily make up most of the population. Would we have... I'm just wondering if we'd have a lot of dwarves being near the mountains, or would we have something else? Mix of all, yeah, I believe so, yeah. I guess we would have some orcs, because we've established in our world that, orcs are not necessarily... Yeah, very wide demographic. So we got humans. I'm looking at the main... Yeah, we do humans and orcs, dwarves. Well, let's go main. Maybe not so much elves. I'm fancying creating a city that's quite opulent, where there will be elves here, but the elves tend to probably gravitate towards that city. But very, very wide demographic. No, I've got a feeling there will be elves out here, but they're not the biggest part of the population. Frogfolk, humans, dwarves, tieflings, yeah, tieflings. I'll tell you what. It's diverse to the point that no one bats an eyelid about. No one bats an eyelid about. What I'm trying to say is, if a race that no one's ever seen before comes from another continent, they wouldn't particularly be that surprised, because it's such a mix. It's such a mix, and everybody just gets on with their own. That no one. Yeah, no one. Yeah, no one questions anyone. Okay, that's good. A melting pot, yeah, exactly. All right, so I feel like we can. I feel like soon we'll be able to stop the stream. I'm going to, but we haven't finished yet. In a moment, Sarah is going to pick a name from the... Well, she's got a random name generator in there, so she's going to get a random name from the chat. So somebody is going to win these dice, these beautiful dice here. And then we'll talk a little bit. So whilst we're waiting for that to happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things we've got going on. First thing, as you know, we're always trying to support communities where we can. We do dice donations through our website, where we give schools and charities dice. But a new thing that we're doing is Critical Kit Creatives. I think that's what we're calling it. I don't know whether that's a final name, but we are anybody that's creative and make something that they sell or want to sell. We're going to give you the opportunity to basically have a page on our site. We get thousands and thousands of viewers on our website every month, so we're going to create a section where people will be able to search for you. They'll be able to fill a form in, and you'll be able to post a few pictures of the things that you do. So there's that we're working on at the moment. If you do want to get involved in that, if you do make anything, please send it to sarah@criticalkit.co.uk. What else? Yeah, so we've got the dice donations. Please go to, I'm just trying to think where the best place to go to is. If you're in the States, go to criticalkit.us. Well, in fact, actually, because I'm not sure it's showing on our UK site. So if you go to criticalkit.us, that's fine. You can get to it's the same form in there. There's on the top, there's D3 dice donations on there, so you can get to it from there. I believe Sarah's just come in with a winner as well. So I will, yeah, that's fine. Okay. What else was I going to say to you? Yes, okay. And if you can support in any way, I do have a Patreon at critical_kit. And what else do I have to tell you about? I can't sell my Kickstarter to you anymore because that's now finished, but we did actually get well over the mark. So I'm really happy that we did that, and thank you to everyone that helped out with that. Can't wait to get those dice out to you. And yeah, the winner is. It was Boston Tea Gaming, yeah? Boston Tea Gaming is the winner, so I don't know whether they're still here or not. But anyway, I will catch up with them somehow via Twitch or something, and they will get these dice. The good news is I'm going to do this every week. I'm going to give dice away every single week. We've got some next week. I'm going to be giving away some liquid core dice. So those are dice with the liquid core in them. But yeah, please, if you can go to either of my stores. If ever you want dice, please just get them from there. There are other dice stores, and I'm always happy for you to support those as well. Come back to the stream, please, because it is really so much fun doing this. I really do love doing it. I hope that we can build an absolutely massive world together. I really do feel like, if you can share it with your friends, all you've got to do is just follow us and put a comment in on the Tuesday when we do this. I'm going to do it from 7 now. Put a comment in and you are in with a chance to win some dice. And every week I'm going to do this. It's not like I'm short of dice, so it's fine. We can do this every single week. So yeah, thank you. Things to be thinking about for next week, because I am not going to think about this at all, because I love to do this on the fly. Let's think a little bit about Vordreath, and maybe think about a settlement somewhere along the river. Doesn't matter where it is, but think about settlement, and we shall go from there, huh? I think that's a good place to start. So yeah, so thank you everyone for joining the stream. It's been absolutely amazing. I've really enjoyed it again. We've got a great world. Don't forget to go check out the online link that I post in the chat. You can add comments there if you've got anything you want to put in as well, so the world can keep growing even when we're not doing the stream. And then next week we'll be back at 7 p.m. Same day, keeping on with the world building. Goodbye everybody. Thank you.